Hello fellow earthlings, it's Libs and this is my, I've forgotten what this is already. And this is my Make Your Myth Take a Readathon Wrap Up. So for this readathon I chose The Path of a Monarch and I failed. I read 3 of the books that I was meant to, and then instead of the 4th book I decided to read something else instead, but I'm pretty happy with that decision. So the first prompt was to read a book about a queen. I slightly cheated and decided to read Josephine's Garden instead. So this is about Empress Josephine and the creation of her garden at Malmaison, I think. I hope that's the name. I enjoyed this book, but I didn't love it. It is presented from 5 different points of view and I didn't really like any of them. Probably just wasn't necessary to have so many points of view. I didn't feel like I knew any of the characters, and that's a problem. The second prompt was to read a book with royal colours on the cover, and for that I chose Paris Savages because of the red. This is a story from an Australian perspective looking at human zoos and the indigenous people who were a part of these zoos, exploring why they were a part of these zoos and the injustices that occurred behind the scenes. While I didn't love this book, it was really impactful and I learned a lot about the side of history that isn't really talked about or is forgotten or recently has been romanticised. Most of the book is from the point of view of the main character. Some bits are from her diary entries and other parts of the book are told from the perspective of a ghost who is watching the situation unfold. The third prompt was to read the highest rated book on your TBR, and this ended up being my favourite book so far of the year, and that's Codename Helene. This book is inspired by the life of Nancy Wake, who is basically one of my favourite humans ever. I don't want to give too much away, but if you're interested in World War II and a hero who is often forgotten, then you'll probably love this book. It was so well written and it was really good pacing and it kept me intrigued and engaged the entire time. The 4th prompt was to reread a favourite, and I started rereading The Virgin Suicides, but I didn't love it as much as I did the first time I read it, so I put it down and instead decided to read Who Do You Serve, Who Do You Protect, which is about police brutality in the US, and it's a collection of reports and essays that explores the topic, gives you some of the facts and figures, and it was really impactful and a very important read, and I'm very glad I read that instead. So this ended up being a really good reading month for me, and my goal for July is mainly just to finish Wolf Hall and then take part in the reading rush. So you'll get a video very soon with my TBR pile for that. See you next time.